Hello and welcome. Today I've been lucky enough to borrow the space of a friend in this here little creek. It's forestry all around, lots of trees, beautiful fresh stream, stones, ferns, and there may even be the appearance of a dog somewhere, but otherwise it's just you and me. So I am doing this as a very spontaneous video. Don't have anything specific planned, though I do want to share some updates with you. So I've not been making any videos last couple of weeks because I've been working on something in the background, and I'm really excited to share that with you. So I'll get into a couple of the things that I have coming up for you whilst we enjoy this calm energy of the forest. So one of the things that I have planned that might be of interest to you is a Celtic shop. I'm going to open a Celtic shop, and it's more of an apothecary shop. But I've been experimenting with making perfumes, with making face creams, for moisturizing, and actually made something that I thought I'd show you for today's video. And it's this little lip balm. It's chamomile and lime. Chamomile and lime lip balm. And the ingredients, you can probably see them. But they are shea butter, coconut butter, beeswax, essential oils. So I think it was just lime essential oils I used, and vitamin E. And there's also mica powder in this. So I'll show you what that looks like. So it smells like lime, and it has some chamomile in there. And as you can see, it has a gorgeous orangey, reddy tint to it. There's a name for that colour, and it's like a coral colour. Yeah, I'd say that's a coral orange. Anyway, that's what I'm wearing on my lips. And the mica powder is from stone minerals. So it creates this shimmer, and it's quite natural. And the beeswax, we just put a little bit of beeswax in there, just helps it to stay on your lips. So anyway, that's one of the things that I've been delving into making recently, and these are items that I'm going to make as a part of this Celtic shop. And obviously to make everything and to plan the set design, to plan the script, to find the right objects and background images and all things apothecary has taken a while. So whilst you're waiting for that video to come, which might not be for another week or two even just yet, might be a little longer, all depends, I thought I'd come and share this beautiful space with you today. I'm very grateful to be here, to be able to share it with you and feel the calmness and the peace and tranquility of nature's elements. So I'm very excited to share that Celtic apothecary shop with you. Of course, it's going to be a magic shop too, and I have a really great story planned for it, so that's what you can expect to see soon. Some of the items that I've been working on creating, they're all natural ingredients, and they're part of a meditation pack that I want to create, an activation pack, because I've been doing a lot of Akashic readings for lots of you wonderful viewers, and it's been an amazing experience actually to connect with your higher self, to go to this ancient house that I spoke of in one of my previous videos that I go to when I want to visit the Akashic records. And I've learnt a lot from doing it. And one of the things that I learned is that the Akashic experience is very valuable. It's very much like going into meditation and receiving a download, receiving a message from spirit, from your higher self, whatever you want to call it. And it's a message from your soul that I retrieve once we've communicated together and understood what it is that you're looking to have answers to. Well, the part that feels like it's missing to me is the part where we get to use our physical bodies and we get to be more in the physical earthly realm. Oh, I just seen a squirrel. And that's the only thing that I feel like is missing in the work that I do, because I do a lot of digital online work, and the thing that feels like wants to come through me is things that are for the physical, things that I make with my hands, and so that's what this meditation pack is all about. That's what this Celtic shop is all about. I want to be able to create products that I can send you and you get to hold with your hands. And we've been lucky enough to be able to buy a machine, a CNC machine, and we've been doing some wooden carvings for people. And that's also going to be part of this meditation pack. And the idea that Eddie had was to make medallions for people to rub whilst they're in meditation. And they're made out of wood. And obviously they have been created into sacred art, which I think is a really nice way. Hello, penguin. It's actually a little woodpecker, but I forget their name every time, so it's a little golden woodpecker who just came to say hello. And so we feel that it's very important to honour things like wood, because trees are extremely sacred, and there's a big issue with deforestation in the world, and trees are the lungs of the planet, and nothing really would do well without trees. And anyway, Eddie likes to work with wood very much, and so creating sacred art that can be used with the wood is something that feels like an honouring of this material. And so of course building with wood is honouring the essence of the wood itself, and there's lots of ways that you can honour it. And so anywho, one of the things that we're doing is carving people's spirit animals into the wood, and carving sacred geometry into the wood, things like mandalas or Celtic art. And that's what you get to choose if you choose to have the activation package, which comes along with an Akashic reading. So that's the digital product, and then you also get a box that's sent to your home with lots of little items in them that are meant to activate your senses, are meant to bring some sacred to your physical body. I feel like we're very deprived right now with a lot of the pandemic that's happened. We're not even allowed to touch other people, and it can be frustrating. And so bringing physical touch back is important, and that's why it's taken me a little while, but I feel strongly about bringing these products to you. So to find a more detailed description of everything that I'm making right now, you can check out my Instagram page, Miss Synchronicity, and you'll see a few pictures on there. And also going to have a web shop on my website, misssynchronicity.com, where you can take a look at the products that we're creating, that are all natural and organic based, and see if there's anything that intrigues you, because every item has a story to tell. I base a lot of what I do on here on this channel for the last year on the elements, the 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, and ether. So yeah, there's been a lot of changes for me internally recently, and some of them have been painful and a struggle, and they've also been quite expansive and revelatory. Ever since the 8th of the 8th Lionsgate portal, ever since summer solstice actually, I've felt a big shift. I don't know about you. And honing in on the things that I really love to do, the types of work that I came here to provide, and the type of service that I came here to provide, it feels really honed in for me at the moment. Like I have a lot of energy and focus to place there, because it feels almost like I'm really understanding what it is finally that I came here to do as a person on this earth. And doing the Akashic readings, I think, is a big part of it right now. Might change, but it's because I have a lot of things that change in my world when it comes to even just my YouTube channel here. There's a different video every week. It's never the same, and that's a testament to a bit of a Renaissance soul, I think. Someone who likes to do many different things. So there's been a big shift, and I know that for some of us it's been tough, but for many of us it feels like there's hope on the horizon, and there's a reason to celebrate. And speaking of celebrate, I want to talk to you about the 8-pointed star. It is something that's been coming up in my reading a lot, and it's a way of celebrating the yearly cycle that we go through as human beings on this planet. And of course it links directly to the equinoxes and the solstices. Those make up 4 of the 8-pointed star, the Star of Ishtar, I think, sometimes also known by. It's also known by many other names. But I have them here, I'll show you. So this is the one that we've just entered and are still in. Next will be the Autumn Equinox on the 21st of September, 22nd of September. Next, the 3rd pointed part of the star, Samhain, Halloween. Then we have winter solstice, for those of us in the northern hemisphere. Then we have Imbolc, the very first beginnings of spring, in February. First of February. Then we have Albenelia, it's spring equinox, and the 7th celebration is Beltane. Beltane is in between the summer and spring. It is the 1st of May. And then we have summer solstice. And then we come back to Rognasad. Apologies if I say that wrong, my Celtic friends. So, I know that we celebrate a few of these holidays, things like Easter, Christmas, Halloween, but we don't necessarily celebrate them in a way that connects directly with nature, and that's probably the thing that I feel is something important that was lost a little bit. So I wanted to remind you of these 8 times of the year that we celebrate, because you can make up your own things that you want to celebrate during this time. You can follow little, tidbits of things that you want to do. So an example would be that during this time of the year, I like to prepare for fall by making the most out of the sun, spending as much time outdoors as possible. And then during fall time, I like to do more dream work. I do that when I pay special attention to my dreams, really think about them, really try and remember them, write them down in a journal of what I can remember, practice during the day to ask whether I'm awake or asleep. I've had some really revelatory dreams, and they're important. They come out into your everyday. They can actually be a dream that you have in the night can be lived out in your day. I've seen that happen a couple times. I'll have a dream and then I'll play out that same dream the following day or a couple of days later, and I'll be like, I wonder if I was supposed to have not done that, because I did the same thing in my dream, and then I lived it in real life in a way. And another thing that I like to do is ancestral work during the winter time. And ancestral work involves, for me anyway, doing meditations on trying to connect with ancestors that have passed over to the other side, understanding where my lineages might be. So, for example, I'll write 4 random cultures onto a piece of paper and stand over that piece of paper and see and feel into my intuition. What does it feel when it stood over this piece of paper? And I don't see what's on the piece of paper, so it might say Irish on a piece of paper, and I'll fold it up, and then I'll mix all these pieces of paper up, and I'll stand over this piece of paper and just allow my body to tell me what it feels when it stands over this energy. This is a great way to find out whether you've had a past life as an Egyptian person, as a Persian person, as an Indian person, as an Irish person. There's lots of different types of fun you can have with this. And being aware of these celebrations means that we can plan special things for these times. With Halloween, I like to light a fire. I like to think about the parts of my shadow self that I'm afraid of, and maybe reenact them so that I can laugh at them in a way, Like, one of the things for me is that I blush a lot when I'm talking to people sometimes. And so one of the things that I can do for Halloween is wear lots of blush, or maybe I'll just wear the lipstick that I made, the lip gloss. It's not lip gloss, it's more like lip balm. And then I'm not putting any nasty chemicals on my face or anything. But I encourage you to think about the ways that you celebrate, or don't for that matter. There's all these celebrations that we can make our own. How do you find your ways to enjoy life every couple of weeks? I get a little bit sad this time of the year because I know summer is coming to an end, and summer is my favorite time of the year. And summer solstice was, you know what, I did so much integration that day. And even though I think about it as being a really tough day for me, the toughest lessons in life lead to the biggest growth, really. And so I can look, instead of looking back on the summer solstice day with some kind of like, I didn't celebrate, I can look back on it and think, I did a lot of integration this day. So however you celebrate is up to you, and the way that you might end up celebrating is to do some integrative work. You know, it's not always about having parties or anything like that. But yeah, I get a bit sad this time of year because I know we're coming into winter, and I love autumn, but I know what waits for me after autumn, and it's lots and lots of snow, and that's okay. It's beautiful in its own right. And there's a lot of deep work that I do during this time, that we can all do during this time. And that's why it's important to honor every cycle, every season. You know, our grand ancestors did it. They honored the cycle, the seasons of nature, and they grew with the wheel of the year. They grew with the 8-pointed star. They knew how to utilize these energies, and that's what we are trying to learn by studying things like Druidry, listening intuitively, inwardly, spending time with the earth, and with water, and with fire, and with the air, and with love and with joy, really thinking about what those things mean to us and honing in on what it is that we want for ourselves, and being very clear about that, you know. So that's something for you to think about, just as a little how are we going to celebrate these potent times of the year, because during these 8 points that have been mapped by the ancients before the Gregorian calendar was introduced, it was known that these times are like portals. A lot of energy is being transferred astrologically between the sun, the earth, and the other planets, and everything lines up to these sacred sites in the world. You know, if you've ever visited one of those sacred sites and you understand the significance of why they built them where they did and what it was built for, you'll see that all of our ancestors have been living like this in conjunction with the wheel of time, with the wheel of the earth for a long time. And why would we need to do any different? I think if we try to go against nature and her cycles, we struggle. It's a downward spiral. If we work alongside with nature and find ways to be joyful of every season, of every day, it's an upward spiral, you know? And and that's it. Just be. Just be who you are. really see everything for what it is. Nature teaches you how to do that. When you spend time in looking at every facet of this amazing life that we live as a part of. You know, life is so incredibly intricate, complex, unique, weird. But in the most perfect way possible. And we're all connected in it. We're all one big family, or we could be. But we still have some ways to go, some work to do before it can feel like that for everybody. But you know, doing the work on the inside with the earth as well, you know, on the outside, is as much as anything or anyone could ask of us. So, my friends, I'm going to say goodbye to you now, and give thanks to the forest here, this creek here, for facilitating calm, peaceful space of remembrance. And I love doing this inner work with those of you that feel called to share sacred space with me. And if you would like to book an Akashic session, then the details are down below. You can go straight to my website, misssynchronicity.com/Akash, and ask your first question there. And I will be seeing you in the next video, which will be the apothecary shop. And I'll be sharing some of nature's wisdom, as well as some magic, hopefully. So stay tuned for that, and nice, deep, restful, peaceful breaths to you. Ocean.